5 individual videos, 35 ideas. Yes, I counted. The Planet Zoo DLC ideas series I've done, and additionally almost every other Planet Zoo creator has discussed at some point, have always included one single thing. No matter the area, the biome, the theme, whatever, it has always been the birds. More specifically, the Aviary Birds DLC. After 5 videos, I've been saving the entirety of this pack, which at this point will be an entire expansion, for one lone video. I'll probably add intro music at some point. This DLC will differ from the normal birds we have in game, from the fact that we're not talking like ostriches or emus or those birds. We're talking about like parrots, eagles, vultures, basically any flighted bird. Also, we need more birds in general. Except for the few flying ones that somehow made it into this realism-centred game without flying away. Also, I think I have to say this in every DLC video, I'm not adding fictional or prehistoric animals. I mean, not really much prehistory you can do with an aviary bird, as long as it's not set in a time period before the late Cretaceous epoch, essentially
2 million years ago, or just the start of the Maastrichtian age by just 100,000 years, or else it would be the Campanian stage specifically, or possible early Cretaceous epoch, which would include the Barrage of Valentinian, Hertz-Rubian, Barremian, Aptian, Albian stages, or earlier on the late Cretaceous epoch, which would now include the stages of Cenomanian, Devonian, Cretaceous, and Santonian stages.
Based on the molecular clock. First things first, we should cover what this pack would do to the base game, as this would be immensely, gigantically huge. As you can see, I've got at the top the species that made it through the filter of not being added, even though they can still fly. You can now see one of my new features, which is an add-on. What this will do is add a roof or a cap over your habitat. I realise you may still be a bit confused as to what this means, so allow me to explain a bit more. So basically it would be sort of like a fill option. Probably doesn't make sense either, but basically you pick the habitat, let the little AI thing, probably thing I'm imagining, get all the little curves and points and corners and edges of the habitat, fences sorted, and it will generate a perfect roof designed just for that enclosure. Also, here are 5 free animals you're getting. Another new feature is the bird cage, which we'll cover soon enough. So, reading the top, these will come in the base game, which means you'll have to get the DLC for these. Actually, I don't know if the walkthrough exhibit is base game, as it's only for DLC animals, but we'll just add it as a new non-DLC feature regardless. Also, if you want to know about the top text, the bits in black are DLC related. The walkthrough will give you 2 new animals, those being the rainbow lorikeet and the helmeted guinea fowl. The guinea fowl is the little cassowary looking thing in the thumbnail. I don't think guinea fowl can fly, but they're mostly a lorikeet can coexist with other species, also including the new DLC walkthrough animals too. The roofed habitat is for medium-sized birds. Either that or birds that need a lot of their kind, which will cause some crown issues in smaller enclosures. These are the hooded crow, go to Egypt and you'll see quite a lot of those, and the grey crowned crane, which I did an art project on for homework once. The cage is basically just, you know, a bird cage you get for a pet, or like one of the small parrot things at zoos. This is the cockatiel. What a school trip when I was like 4 and spent a good 10 minutes trying to pronounce their name. Also, cheeks make it look like a Peppa Pig character. Now this does look a bit, you know, the quality's not too good. That is because I had an issue with a painful option with this one. These have all been on Paint 3D. Every idea so far has. You should hopefully still be able to read this, and this is boring, so we're going to be quick. We did roofs earlier, the exhibit is something I'm not too sure of adding, but added it anyway. These are for proper small birds. Walkthrough we did, cage we're about to cover fully, and dome, which is for the largest of the birds, has been heavily based off the aviaries in the JWE games. Now the cages come in these variations: wooden for the weaker ones, smaller, metal for the stronger and larger birds, and a normal, which is, you know, wooden and metal, and that's for everyone. This is a bit better. These are the items, basically new enrichments and stuff. We've got some perches, some platforms, some birdhouses, which can either go as pre-built blueprints or you can make them on your own. The other in the middle is just like food and water and stuff, food enrichments. The toys, however, are last. You can see that little dangly thing, I don't know what birds do with them, and a little basketball net. As you can see, the bird in that image was very proud of himself. Well done, you won the game with Paint 3D's strange fill tolerance system. And this is what you're most likely coming here for, the actual DLC animals. The base game animals were just the starter to prepare you, and this is going to be the whole thing. Starting off, the exhibit animals are really small birds, and these are the lovebird and this really strange species of hummingbird I found. Again, I'm not really confident about adding exhibit birds, so I didn't really go too in depth with these. The walkthrough exhibit is a bit more exciting, and by that I mean it's exclusively pigeons. You're supposed to be selling this to them, stupid. No, I can explain. Pigeons are well-known birds who can sometimes be very unique and interesting. Also, they're quite friendly, so they're better than putting like a hawk in a walkthrough. There's, for these three, the pink-necked green pigeon, the rock pigeon, and probably the favourite one here, the Victoria crown pigeon. The green pigeon is also quite interesting, and the rock pigeon, the one you see in cities all the time, is great for when you want to make an exhibit based off an old street in London. It's a bit hard to see what's going on at the bottom, so let me read that out for you. The dome is for any flighted species in the game, no matter the enclosure, minus the two exhibits, and these below are exclusive to just the dome. The bald eagle, the turkey vulture, the harpy eagle, and the king vulture. The habitat roof animals are a bit more plentiful, these being the Andean condor, the kea, the marabou stork, the great bustard, and the great hornbill. This species of condor is possibly the longest lived bird that we know of. The kea is like a giant parrot, though it tends to behave more like an eagle. The marabou stork is like a giant stork, and I probably should have added the aquatic biome sticker next to it. The great bustard is a big bird that also sounds like a dinosaur. Actually, I think it was the other species that does, but this one isn't far off, right? Correct, I suppose. Yay. Also, the scientific name is Otis. Finally, for habitat birds, we've got the great hornbill. It's an interesting animal, and one I'm confident I've already covered before in the last episode. To finish things off, the caged animals are the largest group on here, and mainly includes tropical parrots and birds. From the top to the bottom, we have the house sparrow, then the budgerigar, I had was a pet about 5 years ago, called him Hedwig. Then comes the greater sulphur-crested cockatoo, don't ask why I did the subspecies. Then comes the scarlet, blue, yellow and hyacinth macaws. First two I'm confident you know very well. This one, not so much. There's a few macaws out there, but these are the best for this list. And finally, the last animal for this pack is the toucan. I think I've covered this one before too. Hold on, I don't have an intro idea yet for this year, so instead I'm going to leave you with a little bit of honourable mentions. The flying snake, the flying lizard, and the sugar glider. What kind of enclosure will they use? What kind of enrichments will they use? I leave that up to you in the comments.